plumbing gurus. My name's Carson. If you're new to this channel, we're here to strive to save you money and keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices. And today we're at another on-site edition. This is something new to us. We've never actually done it this way. We've done some overpours. So this is in-floor hydronic heating on top of the floor, on the base floor of the main floor. So they're doing an 1.5-inch concrete overpour. It's like a self-leveling concrete. It's very thin, so we got to make sure that the pipes are low enough so that we J-clip them. We've never used J-clips before. Usually what we've done in the past is mesh. They do like a 6-inch mesh and they lay 6-inch mesh everywhere. It kind of adds to the strength of the concrete and it's easier to zip tie to them. But we used to think it was the best way to do it, but we're now kind of finding out that we like the J-clips. So if you look down here, what they told us for the concrete, they need a minimum of 18 to 20 inches between each J-clip. So you're putting a lot of J-clips in, but if you have to do zip ties, you still got to do zip ties. And when you're pulling zip ties, I don't know if you've ever done hydronic heating or not, but your finger gets just mashed up and it starts bleeding if you don't have strong calloused fingers. So this, you're just literally just swinging a hammer and putting J-clips down. It's quite easy actually. So this house is pretty big. There's about 7 loops here, an average of 250-foot loops we got here. I think it's about 1,800 square feet. And so this is the main area, the main room. Lines are pretty straight. What we normally do is we take a 2x4 and we just mark 12-inch centers with a marker on the 2x4. And then we just put it against the wall and I take spray paint. You can kind of see here on the floor. I spray paint 12 inches every 12 inches here. And then we spread it out to about 48 inches here, another 48 inches. So then when we do our loop ends, you can pull it tight and you can see that it's straight on the actual spray paint lines there. So it helps us just kind of make it look nicer. Doesn't really matter if it's perfectly straight. It just looks better. It all gets covered, but again, we like to make sure things are looking pretty. So let's jump over to another room. There's not really much more to this. We'll go over here, we'll look at the manifold. It's all just pipe. Pardon?
Tell them how nothing is zoned.
Yeah, in this house, nothing's actually zoned, so we just kind of ran loops where we could get them. So there's only one thermostat on this whole main floor, but it's still going to be a perfectly even heat. They still have a furnace in here moving air. So we just got one thermostat doing air temperature, and it's going to be beautiful. So, I don't remember what I was going to say now. Clayton rudely interrupted me. Just kidding. Let's go over to the manifold here. So this is like, I think this is the master bedroom, master bathroom, and then, like I said, what we did, so that's what I was gonna say, for planning purposes, we always just make sure we measure the lengths of the room. So if we come into this room, I think this room was about 15 feet this way, and then if you count the dots, you got to make sure you have an even amount of dots too. So that's why we mark them, to count them, to make sure we have an even amount. Sometimes you have to put an extra one at the end. You usually put it at the window because there's more heat loss there. So what we do is we spray paint the dots, and if there's only 13 dots in here, you need an even amount. So you need 14 or 16, an even number to make sure you can do the loops properly. So we always kind of pre-plan, and then you count the dots and how long they are and how long it takes to get from the manifold for the supply and returns, and that's how you size your loops, and that's when you know how far you can go, because there's a maximum of 300 feet of pipe with 1/2-inch pipe. So we don't generally like to max it out. We usually do about 250 feet. Sometimes we have 280, but 250 is kind of the average that we like to do. And then everything, this is just a central location. The main reason we picked this spot is because this is in a closet. And then this is just a laundry room here, so it's a hidden location. They're gonna build like a false cabinet here with access. Our manifold will sit in here. Right now we're just having it on an air test because they're pouring in a couple days. So we need to get this inspected. Inspection's tomorrow. They come and they check the air test, and then they just look at the loops. We have a loop drawing, then they make sure that the loop drawing matches what we've done on the floor to make sure that the loop sizes are not too long, things like that. And then that's pretty much it. Like, it's biggest thing with
I think we show is just the toilet. Just so you don't
yeah, okay. So with toilets, when you're running hydronic heating in floor, you want to make sure you're staying at least like, because there's a wax seal here. So if you have too much heat in and around the wax seal, it can melt the wax seal and then you get leaks and stuff. And it'll also kind of like, it could potentially heat up the water in the toilet. So we usually stay away from toilets as much as you can. But you want to make sure you have heat in front of the toilet where you're sitting, you got to make sure that like you don't want to be too far away. You want to make sure when they're sitting there, their feet are still comfortable. You can feel the heat on the floor. So I'd say that all in all, the biggest thing to remember if you are running hydronic heating is you're going to want to plan things, mark things out. Don't just start pulling pipe. You can do it that way. We've tried it before and it doesn't always work out. But then there's a thing like over planning. We've over planned. We take all this time to measure things and plan, and sometimes it doesn't always work out either. So just get a good, decent plan, measure your loop lengths, and then just start pulling some pipe and figure it out from there. Make sure you're clipping them. If you're doing something like this, 18 to 20 inches is what the concrete people told us to do. So if you have any questions at all, please let us know. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one.